What is up, JVS? We are back with another review. We're here with Daryl Dixon, episode 4, season 3. So, that was a struggle on its own. I am excited to talk about this. We all know how this season has played out. It's been interesting, it's been slow at times, but at the end of the day, I've been excited for what we have gotten. And leading into episode 4, it's no different. I was excited to see how things were going to play out. And I'm not gonna lie, the first 10 minutes felt like what we've already seen. It just felt like a repeat of everything that we've seen. It was kind of slow. I wasn't sure how I felt. And then man, oh man, it picked up. It picked up and it delivered a crap ton of action. You gotta love when there's I mean any type of sequence when there's like an invasion of sorts and you see like the home kind of like the people at home trying to defend themselves. I mean, kind of like Winterfell vibes. I mean, it was just really interesting to see how they kind of handled it and to see all the tricks that these people kind of pulled out their bag. I mean, seeing how they defended themselves, to see the group of people that we have been kind of me personally, I've been waiting to see this group for quite some time. So to see them and to see how they were kind of attacking and to see what kind of equipment they had, their outfits, all of that, it was really really cool. But before we dive into that, I do want to, of course, introduce myself as always. Hello, I am Bizzy Braun. Welcome to JVS. We drop a lot of reviews for not only this show, but a lot of shows. So if that's what you're into, just knowing what to watch, what's good, and to hear our thoughts after we watch a show, feel free to check us out, subscribe, do what you can, help us out. We have a lot of other things coming out in the future, so just stay tuned. But for Daryl Dixon, we will be covering not only the reviews for the rest of the season, but we will be going live on my channel, Bizzy Braun, which is down in the description, as well as dropping reactions for every episode that we watch over there. So stay tuned if that's your thing. But back to the episode. Of course, this is good. This was good. I mean, I am loving what we're doing with Spain. I would not mind going somewhere else after the end of the season. Kind of hope they don't kind of overstay. I'm excited to see how they handle it. But there was a lot here that I was really looking forward to. Of course, Roberto still being really messed up with the whole Justina situation, which is 100% valid. But to learn more about that and to learn more about the history and why people don't really want Roberto with, of course, Justina. Because at first it seemed that it was as simple as it just being Federico and the father having a problem. But as we've seen, it looked like even the people that lived there didn't want this to be a thing. And we heard that there was some type of beef between, I believe, Antonio's, Roberto's dad, and Federico, but they didn't dive into what the issue was. And I know that once we get into it, I'm sure it's going to be extreme. It's going to be insane because they wouldn't be saving it for no reason. So I am excited to see how they end up kind of explaining that whole situation. But with Justina being out of the picture, I can understand why Roberto was extremely depressed. Him deciding that he didn't even want to go with Daryl at this point anymore back to the U.S. But at the same time, I mean, one of you guys said in the comment section that you felt like Juliet and Romeo and Juliet. I don't know why I struggle so much with that situation was going to end up happening, as if he falls into a great depression and ends up doing something and then she ends up coming back realizing what he did and then she ends up doing something and I don't want it to be that dark. We already deal with a lot of shit with this show, so it's not where I want to see it going, but at the end of the day, the way they're setting things up, they can go multiple routes with how they're handling this so far. And at the end of the day, I love shock value, so I'm excited to see and I'm excited to be wowed. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. But I am super stoked to see where they're headed, cause we just have so much going on at this point. And with the group that was supposed to be protecting them, they were kind of wavy. They were like after the last episode, they were like, okay, we're not sure if we want to ride with you at this point. And Justina ended up going with him, which I'm hoping helps things out a little bit, hoping that they are still gonna do the protection, all that stuff. But after this episode, Roberto of course had that whole entire freak where he's like, where were they? Like, where were they when we needed them? You know, like what's the point of giving away our women if like we're not getting the protection that we were promised? And of course, this is the first time where we really see Federico kind of go at him and go at his neck. And he said flat out, like, if we didn't have the weapons that we had, which were given from the group, we would be screwed. And essentially, he's correct there. And the amount of ammo that we saw in this episode and the amount of weapons that were used We need to be appreciative of that at the end of the day. Like that was like that came in that was lucky because there's a lot of times where they were just firing and I'm like, okay, there's no way we have any more bullets. There's no way. And I mean, they just kept going, and even Federico at one point pulled out like a rail gun. I don't even know what it was, but I mean, like we just see him just cooking, and I'm just like, oh my god, like we're really prepared. And then he's like, Antonio, now you go ahead and you do the same thing. And then he pulled out some crazy ass weapon, and it's just back and forth, back and forth. They were just surprising me and surprising me. I'm just like, this is insane, but it's so much fun to watch just to see them kind of like shredding through these people and not, I guess, getting screwed over. And at the same time, it was cool too because the way everything went down. But then we saw the catapults, and at the end, they ended up biting us in the ass, like them lighting the walkers on fire and then throwing them across. Oh, that was. See, they get really creative with this show. Like not even just Daryl Dixon, but Dead City, and it's really cool to see what they do when it comes to the show, I guess. And of course, it is depressing. We know we only have one season left, so it's always going to be interesting to see how they handle that. Dead City, I'm sure, might be close as well if they're ending this, but I'm just so curious to see how they're going to end up concluding everything. And we see Daryl Dixon, we see Daryl, and we actually dive into some flashbacks, which is like the first time we've kind of. I feel like we don't do much of that, and even though it was very small, it was just really cool to get a little like hint or a lick or just a look at the past, and it's always interesting to see when they do that, especially with a character like Daryl Dixon, who's extremely damaged. There's a lot that made him who he is, and whereas a lot of people here, they started fighting once the apocalypse started, whereas Daryl Dixon has been fighting his entire life, has had a lot of shit go on, and that's just how he is, and it's always interesting from that point of view when they dive into a character who we've had on screen for 15 years, and we essentially know a little bit about his past, but there's also a lot that he's told us that turns out to be fibs, like he's like, oh yeah, that's not necessarily true, and I only said this and it was a lie, and it's just there is a lot that I am interested in learning, so it is cool when they do dive into certain things even after all this time. um Carol and I believe his name is Antonio. I hope I'm saying his name right. I hope it's not like a episode 1 situation where I kept calling Julian Felipe or Philip, excuse me. I don't know why I kept doing that, but God, it's something that I kept doing. Um, Antonio, I believe his name is. So yes, I am excited to see where that relationship goes because there's clearly something there, and especially when I went to that San Diego Comic-Con teaser, they were like the way they were talking about it too. They're like, "Oh, Carol has a new friend." I'm like, "Yeah, we know that's right. He's gonna die." I mean, there's no way. Like we don't introduce new love interests for that not to be the case. I mean, I would love for him to live, but it's I'm not used to being happy when it comes to watching a lot of the Walking Dead shows. Like they just introduce someone we love and then kill them off. So it is what it is. What are you gonna do? Um, of course, when we're getting the ship together and trying to get ready to go, we end up meeting a new character who I honestly loved. I mean, English speaking, kept saying bro. I'm like, oh my god, it's gonna be great to see this get on Daryl's nerves, and then it ended up leading to him being like the first one to die. I'm like, this is sick, bro. Like he's excited. He's coming with us. This is something to be excited for, but immediately they just kill him off, and I'm just like, bro, like this is insane. And it was just really cool because we had some comedic moments right off the rip too, with him teaching Daryl how to tie these knots, and then when Daryl just gets up without even saying anything and walking away, he's just like, okay, I guess we're done, and it's just little moments like that. It was fun, I thought it was cool, but there's just a lot to look forward to when it comes to these final episodes. I mean, again, it's not 6 episodes, it's 7, which is at least a little step up than what we've been used to. So I am excited to see how they handle the next 3 episodes. Should be fun. I'm excited to talk about them. Of course, we missed our live stream in the last week, but I do expect to dive into, of course, this week. I believe Wednesday is the day we're shooting for, so make sure you guys are staying tuned. Wednesday, 8 o'clock. I'm hoping that I can make it work. We have a lot of other things that we've been planning, a lot of other reactions that we have coming out, reviews, so I look forward to just dropping more content for you guys. But it's been cool to just sit back and enjoy this with you guys. I am excited to hear how you guys are ranking this compared to the first 2 seasons. Do you think it's starting off stronger than 1, starting off stronger than 2? Do you think this is the weakest that we've gotten so far? am really excited to hear your thoughts. Me personally, I've enjoyed this show. Like, I think this is one of the best spin-offs that we've gotten. So it is always interesting to see how they end up handling certain things. But so far, I do think, as much as I'm loving season 3, I don't know if I'd rank it up there with season 1 and 2. Of course, we do have a few episodes left, so it is going to be interesting. And this episode alone got me really, really excited to see more of Spain as a whole of here, because it's like it's just a big change, you know. It's like we have episodes where there are some action sequences, but then we have this where it's just a big stage, like a big battle, which you love to see. And they did a really, really, really good job handling everything here. So super impressed, super excited for more. So hope you guys are as excited as I am. So talk to me in the comments section. I'm looking forward to having some cool conversations with you guys. If you're new, hello, welcome. Bizzy Braun, this is TeamJVS. Make sure you guys are subscribing, following, doing what you guys can to support us, and we truly appreciate it. And for now, hope you guys are doing well, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace out.